Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Bimin Zheng, and I work as an application engineer at PointCab company. In this webinar, I will introduce you to the workflow in PointCab for BIM. The laser scanning technology is more and more often used for stock taking. So from the acquired point clouds, the models with their geometry can be created in CAD systems, but the size of the point clouds, which can be imported directly into Archicad, is limited to about 4 GB. And PointCab for BIM offers a solution of modeling from point clouds in Archicad without any importing point clouds. Models can be created in Archicad in the correct position. So before I begin with the modeling in Archicad, we concentrate today in this webinar on several pre-processing of the point clouds data in PointCab. Um, so today we will use the dataset Villa, and this PointCab project can also be downloaded from our website. In this project, a detached house was scanned by Ferro scanner. In total, there are 41 scans with colors in Ferrocene project. So this house looks like this after successful import in PointCab. In the top view and in the two side views. Um, as you can see here, this point cloud is an ordered point cloud. That means in this point clouds, you can see all the scan positions. There are red circles in this PointCab project, all the red circles. So the first thing I want to mention is several settings option in PointCab. And the settings, you will see we have an option has the name Scan Colorize. This option gives you the opportunity to colorize your scan stations. So you can choose in behavior of the height of the laser scanner to colorize the scanner position. If you do that, you can see in the standard front view, the scanner positions have different color. If you choose the point clouds, the laser scanner station should be colorized in behavior of the cluster, and all the scanner positions have the same color right now. This option is very important for us to process the data. Just imagine that you have a scan project with, for example, 30 stories, 30 floors. So in that case, if you colorize all the scanner positions in behavior of the height, it's very difficult to find the scans on a floor to calculate only the layout on this floor. You will have a large list of the scans. So if you want to accelerate the whole calculation process in PointCab, you should define your laser scanner positions in the beginning of the project logically. I will show you how to do that in this example. Before I do that, I want to explain two options and our project settings. That is the export format of our results. For the modeling in Archicad, it's enough that we export our plans in DVG format. I will always use this format for the modeling in Archicad project. You can also choose other formats if you want, but if you choose more formats than you really need, your results file from PointCab Projector will have a big size, and I don't want to have that on my device of my computer. So I will only choose the format that I need. And the next thing is the protocol. This PointCab protocol is exactly for the connection between PointCab and Archicad. So it's very important before you use this PointCab for Bimin, you should choose this protocol. And also, we should pay attention for the CAD projection type. For DVG and DXX5, we have different the CAD projection type. We have 3D, planar, and planar with origin. So for Archicad, it's very important to know that you should export all your plans in two-dimensional CAD files. Please do not use the 3D because Archicad, this CAD system, accepts only the 2D, two-dimensional plans. That's all about the settings. You should do that before your before any processing in PointCab. So let's turn back to our PointCab project now. As I already told you, I want to start with the sorting of the scans in different clusters. How should I do that? I'm going to open Advanced Importer. If you already used the registration function in PointCab, you will know this Advanced Importer. And this is the Advanced Importer window. And in this window, you will find the three tabs. The first one is import. In this import tab, you will see an overview of all the scans they already imported in this project. And also, if you want to add more scans, you can go in this window and add your scans extra into PointCab project. And the third tab is registration. We are not going very deep today in this part. We have a webinar for registration. Also, if you have interest on that, you can join the webinar about the registration. And today we are going to cluster. And the cluster, sometimes if you already define cluster in Ferrocene, so after import of your data, those cluster can be automatically generated in PointCab. If not, it's also not very bad because we can define them again here. For example, in this case, you already see that all the laser scanner standard points are the same color, the red circle. And also you can see here, all the scans are red. So the next thing I want to do is to define several clusters for different stories. So I'm going to click on the scan and I right click new cluster. So if I go back to my front view, I will see for in this example we have a basement floor, we have a ground floor, we have a first floor, we have the top floor. So I'm going to and furthermore we have also several scans outside. So the next thing I want to do is define the clusters for the different areas in my scan data. The first is a basement floor. And ground floor. And the first floor. Top floor. Furthermore, we have outside scans. So Now we have different clusters, and the next thing we need to do is to sort the scans in the correct cluster. So as we can see here, in the front view, we can see, wait, I changed the view like this, so we can see better. Okay, for the basement, we need to drag the scan from 118 to 123 in the basement cluster. Oh, right, right. So 118 to 123, drag it into the basement floor. As you can see here in the list, the scans are already green, and also in our standard front view, they are also green colorized. And the next is for the ground floor. So I need the scan 108 to 117. 108 to 117. Drag it to the ground floor. And the next is more easy to find out those 4 scans on the top floor. There are scan 102 to 105 on the top floor. And let's see the scans outside the area. They are from the scan 004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, F, 12, 13. So to 13, they should stay here in the outside area, and all the other scans should go to first floor. So now we have sorted all the scans in different cluster. How should we use those clusters? I will show you in the next step. Close the advanced importer. We have Projector here after the import. So as you can see here, this detached house stays not 100% orthogonally, and that's confused. That's for me is very confused to create any plans. For example, if I want to create a section for the stairs area, it's very difficult to align the section direction orthogonal to the walls here. So our workflow is that before you start with any creation of the plans, you should align your scan projector new in PointCab. How to do that? You should use this align scan project tool. And in my example, I want to choose one of the interior walls corner to use that as my new coordinate system origin, and set the x-axis belong to the interior wall, and in the front view I can set the height of my new coordinate system. I want to use the height of the upper surface of the ground floor as my zero height. So, and go back to top view again to adjust the position of my new origin. So now I can tell PointCab, please apply this new alignment for my project. The PointCab calculate now the new PointCab projector with the new coordinate system. So some of our users will ask, if we transform this point cloud in a new coordinate system, all the point coordinate will be changed, and then maybe we will have problem. in Archicad. Some of our users, they want to import a part of the original point clouds into Archicad to check their models. If we do the transformation in PointCab and then we do the modeling in Archicad, all the model elements are in the new coordinate system. And then if you import the original point clouds into Archicad, the point clouds have another position as this new model element with the new coordinate system. But don't worry about that. We have also a solution for that. As you can see here, we already do the new alignment for this project. You can also export the point clouds of this project extra in E57 formats for your control in Archicad. How to do that? We can use this tool. This tool has the name export a part of the point cloud to use that. And to choose the area you want to export. For example, I want to export the point clouds of this detached house. So like this. And I can set the area a little small because in this example, I want only to export the point clouds on the ground floor. And go to our job editor for this point cloud export job. Please follow my course. You can see here we have a filter, and in this example, I want to export the point clouds as separate scans. I want all the point clouds and have their own scan stations. And to choose the format E57 with reflectivity, with colors, and in my case, right now, I don't want to export all the point clouds. And now I'm going to use the defined clusters to select the scans efficiently. Just imagine that if you don't have this list, if you don't have these clusters, you will have a very long list here. So in my case, there are only 41 scans. It's no problem. You can choose the scans one by one. But just imagine if you have 100 scans, 300 scans, you will have problem if you do these selections on the clusters. So in my case, I will deactivate the scans on top floor, on first floor, on basement floor, and I'm going to choose the scans outside and the ground floor and say, please process this. So the point cloud will be exported in PointCab project folder. And while PointCab doing that, let's have a look about our point clouds in PointCab Projector here. So in this example, I want to create a layout for my property because I wanted to do some 3D measurements on my property in this case and use those measurement points to model the property in Archicad. How should I do that? I'm going to use the layout and section tool and to define the area I wanted to process. For example, here, choose the area. Okay, a little more like this. So go back to the top view and define the area I want to process, maybe a little more like this. Yes, and go to the job editor and the processing use the methods minimum and choose the scan station. I only need the outside scans, nothing more, like this. And give the name, rename layout property. Okay. Okay. We can wait a little while. So we have that. And at the same time, I want to define several layouts for my ground floor. So I want to create a layout for this ground floor, and I want to keep all the information of some objects like the doors, the windows, and so on. So I need to find the area correctly. Okay. And very important for this layout is also that I should choose the correct scans I want to use. Okay. And give the name for this layout, ground floor middle. Okay. And I want to make a vectorization also for this ground floor. So I will need the layout of that. I will not to define a new layout per graphically. I only want to make a copy of this layout because I want to use all the settings in job editor get exactly the same for my new layout. If I duplicate this layout, all the settings here will be kept in my new duplicated layout. So if you do that in your projector for many stories, it can really save you much more time as you create every time a new layout. Duplicate ceiling and with the offset. Okay, there is it. This is the new layout. Choose that a little more like this. So please create that for me. And I want to do a small analysis for the floor because if we model this detached house in Archicad, we should pay attention for the exploded element in this detached house. For example, if we go to model the floors, we need to check if the floors in every rooms have the same thickness. If not, we should model the floors exactly with the exact thickness as we get from the acquired data. You cannot just model the floor with one slab tool for the whole ground floor. So the next thing I want to do is to use the data tool to make a small analysis for our floor here. Only for the ground floor here. You can see here. Okay. To change the area a little small. Only for the ground floor here. So I want to use another color scale and yes, and I only need the scans on ground floor. Give the name, but it doesn't matter which name we use. Okay, we will have that. I will show you how the result looks like. If you double click on this job. You will get a plan with color. So, and you cannot get any more information about this color. So we are going to open our folder, show in folder. You can see there's a PDF file about the analysis. In this PDF file, you will get the information about the floor, which described the distance between your point cloud of the floor to a reference plane. So this difference will be colorized like here. In this example, you can see in all the rooms they are green. So the difference stays in the interval of 2 centimeters, something like this. And if we go to next page, you will get a histogram about this difference. If you say almost all the difference stay under your tolerance, smaller than 2 centimeter, you can choose only one slab in Archicad to model the whole ground floor. If not, if you see very clear in different room, the floor has different height, so you need to pay attention during the modeling process in Archicad to use different thickness for the floor. So that's one thing about the data tool. And as we already said, we want to also define our story height in Archicad. To do that, we need to create a section for this building. So I'm going to use the section tool again and to choose this area with the stairs and give the name, rename stairs. Okay. And in this case, for this section goes through the whole building. So it's very difficult for me in the reality to say which scans I will use for this section. No? Sometimes you can make it more efficiently. That means in the beginning of your project, you can define a cluster specially for all the scans in the stairs area. So in that case, you can process the section more quickly than I do here. But in our case, there are only 41 scans. I didn't create a cluster extra for the stairs area. So I'm going to say I will use all the scans here and process it, please. So I'm going to open the layout of the property here. I wanted to create 3D points exactly for this area because I want to model my property in Archicad later. So I'm going to use the 3D points tool and set a point there. On the right corner here you can read the coordinates of the points. If I move my cursor there in the corner there, that's minus 925. So I'm going to set the value here, minus 9 and 25. That's my start point. And the end point, I want to choose this corner. And for this point, I have the coordinates 13 and minus 5. 13 and minus 5. And I want to create the pointer raster exactly in this area with a step of, for example, 5 meter create. So I have raster right now. And I want to export those 3D points. I'm going to click on export points and save those points as survey points for the modeling in Archicad. So XY is okay. Save. Great. And open the layout near the ceiling of the ground floor. So we get a clear contour line of our walls. So the next thing I want to do is to create some vector lines. I will use those vector lines to model the walls in Archicad. So I will not do very exactly in this example. I'm just going to show you the workflow, how to use those vector lines to create the worlds. You should do that, of course, in the reality more accurate as I am doing now. So go back to outside lines. So as you can see here, the lines should not stay outside of the projection, but we will do that in this example. And for the interior walls, going to set the line. As you can see here, we need to correct the thickness in Archicad. I will show you how to do that in this example. So as you can see here, we don't have any point clouds in this layout because in this area, the data was missing. So that is also a very important thing during the data acquisition. The user should really pay attention during the data acquisition process. If we miss data in this area, we cannot reconstruct them very accurate in the CAD system. Okay, doing this vector line, and also for our stairs, we get a section. And in this section, I want only to define the upper surface of each floor, because I only need this height information to define the height of each story in Archicad. Also, you can vectorize the stairs directly here, but in our example today, I'm not going to do that. Okay, great. So I have prepared all the things I need for my Archicad, and right now I'm going back to Archicad. This is the Archicad, a new project, and the first thing I want to do is to define my stories in Archicad. So story settings. In our case, we have ground floor, first floor, and top floor. And don't forget, we have a basement. So it's okay. And open the ground floor. The next thing I want to do is to import the vector lines I created for the stairs. Okay. Okay. It's okay. So great. You just see here a radar line is displayed here because it's a section. All the vector lines on this section are projected in this line. So the next thing I'm going to do in Archicad is to create the section exactly on this radar line. Okay. Okay, this is the section. I'm going to open it. Just wait a second. Wait. The red line. Just wait. I think I made a mistake, and I'm going to show you where is the error I made. So as I imported the vector lines here for the section, there's one option we need to choose, is that import model space content as GDL project. I didn't do that right now. It's great. So again, okay. Okay. So right now you can see the vector lines we created in PointCab project. The next thing is to set the height of each story, edit the story labels. Okay. Archicad will recognize the vector lines automatically. The only thing you need to do is just to set your story exactly on those vector lines. Okay. Great. For the top floor. Yeah. Say OK. And then right now you can see all the height will be adjusted as the height information from the point clouds. Let's go back to the ground floor. So I'm going to start with the modeling of the walls and import the vector lines of the ground floor. Okay. Okay. Merge. Okay. There are the vector lines, and also I want to use the plans, and there I already created as a control for the modeling process. So I'm going to use the layout middle. Yeah. Okay. So I have a visual control here. So I'm going to set this auto photo in the background. Set to back, set to back, set to back. Right. So start to model the walls. So choose the wall instrument here and use the magic wand in Archicad and choose the vector lines of the outside facade. Click on that, and the outside walls will be created. Just let's zoom in. And as you can see here, we need to set the thickness of the walls again and choose the wall. And this is our for Bimin plugin, and measure the red vector line, and the wall thickness will be adjusted. And you can also see there is a measured point, and this point will be also displayed in your 2D plans in Archicad, but you can set the you can change the settings, and the points can also be can also disappear. I will show you how to do that. You go to options. You go to document and model view options, and there you have the option Bimin tool options. Go to there, choose the merger point options. Do not select any option here and say OK. So now you will not see any measured points. And for example, here for this wall, we know that this wall has different thickness in different rooms. So we need to model that in details, for example. So now I'm going to use, if you have vector lines already for your interior walls, it will be easy, but we don't have any vector lines because I didn't create them in PointCab. So I'm going to use this help line in Archicad, and to say I'm going to split this wall and to adjust the wall thickness again, like this. Okay, and this part should have another thickness. Yeah, so you can adjust your thickness. And of course, you can also merge the walls directly in PointCab. It will be transformed directly into Archicad. For example, for this wall here, you go to PointCab and open the ceiling layout. I'm just going to set two programs at the same time on my screen so you can see that better. So great. Exactly this wall. So I'm going to merge this wall. You need to activate the 4-cat button and a 3D point tool and to say merge the wall from left. If you just imagine that you are standing in the middle in this room and you are looking to the wall here, you measure the wall from left side to the right side. So the wall is already seated there, and let's say this wall has a round thickness. You need to adjust the wall thickness. To do that, okay, and to combine this wall to the wall there. And also another example, because it's very important for me to show you how to use your point cloud to control your modeling results. The next wall I wanted to model something. Yeah, wait. This time I'm going to model this wall. So just let's say the thickness, we choose small thickness for this part. Okay, and then you need to imagine that you are standing exactly in the middle of this room and looking to the wall. You are going to measure the wall from left side to the right side. Okay, I'm doing that. Okay, so I modeled the wall here and to do that. Okay, so the first thing you can use to control the results is that you use always those auto photos from PointCab as your background to see that you can see directly the wall has the round thickness. That's the one thing you can use for your model check. And another thing you can use is that I'm going to delete this background auto photo. The next thing you can use is to import your point clouds you already exported in PointCab. So going to do that. 3D. Wait a second. 3D. Okay. So I want to control this part of the wall. So I need to know which scans I need. I will need the scan 113 and 114. I'm going to say 113 and 114. Choose those two scans and set my folder for the GDL object in Archicad. Wait a second. Yeah, that's the correct, exactly there. Okay. And place the point clouds on ground floor. Please import the point clouds. Okay. Right now, Archicad is loading those 2 point clouds into this Archicad project. After the loading, I need to save my Archicad project. I always forget to do that, and it's very dangerous for the project work. Yeah, okay, as I said, I need to save this project at first. It's very important. Villa. Okay, so I loaded 2 point clouds into my Archicad project, as you can see on this ground floor plan there. So here, as you can see here are all the projection of the point clouds on this floor plan. And you can also see 2 standard point of the laser scanner here. And also, and the 3D option here, you will see the camera already defined by this plugin. And you can also see here the wall thickness is run directly from your point clouds. So that's a control for your model element. And also, if I go to create a section directly in Archicad, so like here, going to open this section. Okay. So wait, it's loading the point clouds. Yes, oh, so you can see here, this is the wall with the round thickness, and these are the point clouds here. And furthermore, you can also go to 3D view to cut a part of your model element. Just say to cut this part. And here, there you go. There's a huge difference between the point clouds here and the model, the surface of the model wall. So this is how you can use the point clouds to control your model. And it's only a workflow about that. The next thing I want to show you is to model the floor of the ground floor. So use the slab tool here, and need the PointCab. Great. Wait, where is the section? Here is the section. So, and to choose, use this slab tool, and this is the wall here. I need to merge the upper surface of this story. That's one point here. And also the lower surface here. So the Archicad get the thickness from my measurement in PointCab, and I need to set the slab here. So I'm going to use this function. So I'm not going to do that very exactly. You can also use the magic wand to set the slab one time, and this is the floor. Okay, the next thing I want to do is to import the raster points for the property. I'm going to say file, interoperability, and place mesh from survey. data. Go back to the PointCab folder. 3D. Sorry for that. And we need XYZ format. Say, open that, and original location place. So now you get the mesh from the survey points. So it looks like this. It looks like this. It's very efficiently. You don't need any contour lines to create your property in your model. So if you want to do that more accurate, you need to create the 3D points, of course, in PointCab more accurate. Only here in this webinar, I just showed you this workflow, how to use those tools to do the data pre-processing in PointCab, so you can get to start with your modeling work more efficiently in Archicad. You only need to concentrate yourself on the modeling work in Archicad. You don't need to import any point cloud. Okay, so until now, I showed you how to set the cluster, how to create plans more efficiently in PointCab, and which parameter you need to pay for attention so you can work with the results from PointCab directly in Archicad, and how to use this BIM tool to model the walls in Archicad. That's all. That's all the content in the webinar today. And more about the details, how to model a house, something like this, how to model the windows. We will show you those content in next webinars. So I'm very glad to see you in this webinar today. And if you have any questions by testing of our PointCab for BIM tool, and you can reach us per email or per telephone. So our support is always from 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock for our clients. And just don't be hesitant to contact with us. So very thankful for your attention in this webinar. And I wish you a nice day, and please stay healthy. So I'm looking forward to hear you and to see you in next webinar. Bye bye.